Yo, what's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Respect the Game podcast. As y'all can see, we got the triple threat triangle offense going. Sedacious and our brother Shineheart Izzo is not on tonight. They may come on a little late, not quite sure, but they may be out for this episode, so we will not be at full strength. But like I said, we got the big three triple threat offense going. My name is Edward, named after my father. Shout out to my mama for that decision. Shout out to my granny too for helping raise me. Please go follow at EMAC Stats for all your up-to-date sports coverage, high school level, collegiate level, as well as the pro level. Football around the corner, so gonna be putting out a lot of content with that. NBA around the corner, gonna be putting out a lot of content with that. WNBA playoffs slowly creeping up. Going to be putting out a lot of content with that. So yeah, man, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow at EMAC Stats to stay up to date on all the latest features, highlights, and interviews in the sports universe.
Yo, it's the one and only Black Peace, the host with the most, that blows the most smoke, the rap plug, the hip hop plug. You already know. Check me out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts for the good old Talkin Smoke podcast. Be sure to go check me out on TV, as Emax would say. I am on the phone lines right there. Also, man, just anywhere you can get your social media, I should be found. Google me, Black Peace.
I am Coach Johnson. I am the husband of Jordan. I am the father of Parker and Deuce. I am here to bring the controversy to help you reason out your thoughts a little bit better and to help you see things just a little bit differently. And to Shineheart Izzo, good excellence, and Sedacious Xavier Miles. We miss them, and we can't wait to have them back with us. Take it away, Edwards.
That's a good plug, Christian. Good plug. Yeah, man. So we're gonna start this podcast off by simply saying that we have shown time and time again that we've been ahead of the curve with a lot of evaluations, a lot of predictions, a lot of analysis. And though we may have not went viral, it is what it is. You can't really dictate the universe of the internet. But we told y'all first that Kendrick Lamar was getting ready to drop an album. We told y'all this last week, verbatim. Everybody's been caught up in the hoopla of Drake, Kanye. We specifically told y'all to be on the lookout and that Kendrick Lamar was coming. And by golly, that absolutely did happen. He dropped a note on Instagram and his social media page and Twitter. New thoughts, talking about getting ready to release his last and final album under the TDE umbrella, and is eventually going to break away from that label. But it is imperative to know that there is no bad blood, there's no love lost with Kendrick Lamar's relationship and Top Dog Entertainment, none whatsoever. But yeah, man, I don't want us to, as a podcast and still growing, I don't want us to be so hungry to have that supreme notoriety just yet and not truly appreciate the fans that we already have now, who have been listening to us, who did take heed to what we said about Kendrick Lamar and other stuff through past episodes. So we're not going to sit here and whine and complain about getting our credit or not having received our credit, I guess, on a national or mega platform or whatever. We're going to say to all those who are day ones and who have been following us and who have been listening to us consistently, whether we are a supreme mega podcast right now or not, we thank y'all for tuning in, and we are privileged and grateful to have been able to give that futuristic information to y'all. So thank y'all for constantly tuning in, which is why every week it may sound cliche, it may sound redundant, but we do not take it for granted, and y'all taking out the time to listen to us. And as you can see, time and time again, you listening to us pays off for you, because you can go on knowing what's going to happen out there in the culture and the sports world and the political world before it even happens. And that only happens here because we respect the game.
Yo, I think first off, with that being said about the whole Kendrick Lamar situation, that I believe that was a end of a courtesy stop. Okay, I believe at the beginning of the summer, J. Cole did a courtesy stop. He gave them all the time in the world from January 2021 all the way up until I believe May 2021. And I'm talking about J. Cole dropping his album before Donda or Certified Lover Boy. Okay, he gave both of those artists enough time to promote and drop. So when they didn't do it, he dropped, took over the summer. Now I believe Kendrick did the exact same thing, and say, you know what, y'all didn't drop during the summer. I'm taking over the fall or possibly the winter. And with all that being said, with all this, basically coming in to undercut them, they're still fighting each other. They're still going at each other, which I still believe was beef there. There were some naysayers, but at the end of the day, they're like Drake said it himself in the Trippie Redd song. Ye ain't going nowhere. It's set in stone. This beef ain't going nowhere. So like I said, I think it's something deeper than music, something on the personal matter. But at the end of the day, they're both eyeing, in my opinion, to outdo the other with this whole album sale, with the whole album drop. Neither one of them has quite given the exact day of dropping. They have been promoting, and at this point, they're even going at each other's necks. It went from, I'm not mistaken, the Drake line about Ye said it's set in stone, and it went to a text message with a group text message at that with Pusha T, who I don't understand how that works. I don't understand how you can, I guess, keep your enemies close. I don't know, but they're in they got them bunched up into a group chat to where Kanye even goes straight at Drake and says, basically, I'm gonna end your career. You will not recover. He didn't say end your career, but you will not recover after what I do with you. He said, I deal with jockey nerds like you all the time. It's nothing. So, and honestly, what I think about that, he may have slung a shot at the whole, I guess you could say the whole 50 Cent thing to a certain extent. He's not a nerd, but basically saying he can stand up for himself and go toe-to-toe with some of the toughest looking guys. So, like I said, it went from there. After he did the whole threat to Drake, he dropped his address. Heavily guarded, heavy security, but at the end of the day, you still drop this man's address. Drake had nothing to do but laugh about it on Instagram. He literally laughed about it, like with his face, no emoji on Instagram. That's how comical he thought it was. And it's getting to the point where, if not mistaken, newest information, Drake has said, if I'm not mistaken, he said recently to Rick Ross that he's about to release something to where he feels relieved. It's gonna be, as a matter of fact, good Lord, I left my phone, guys. Basically saying that he dropped another subliminal. He told Rick Ross himself that he's gonna be relieved. He's gonna get a lot of stuff off his chest. He's gonna be 10 times lighter once this album drops. And I think it's gonna be that bombshell of what him and Kanye are really getting into. That's what I think this whole build-up from his album is. I don't think Kanye is doing the exact same thing, but I do think he's trying to interfere with. Yeah, so, I do think he's trying to interfere with his album sales. So I think a truth is coming out from Drake, and I think Kanye is trying to derail some album sales to bring it all to a close.
Drake texts Rick Ross, everything is unfolding. I'm about to be as free as a bird.
Thank you. Now, like I said,
that may mean.
That sounds like a big secret. And due to the whole Kanye stress and beef, it got to be the bombshell. It got to be some kind of bombshell that's gonna destroy somebody's career or damage somebody's career.
Reputation profusely. Yeah, now we shall see.
Yeah,
I'm going to be mad if they drop their albums and I think that to your point, I think they're going to be shots on each of their albums, but I don't know how precise they're going to be or how deeply rooted they're going to be. I wonder if they're going to slap, if they're going to the bars at each other are going to slap us in the face, or we're going to have to go comb it and actually find it. That's what I'm curious about.
All right. So, God, see, I do apologize for not being prepared. I really do. But it's a part where back in Scorpion, Drake has a song where he's throughout the whole album he's doing subliminals, and at one point he says, "While you was gone, I fucked her while you was gone," basically. Okay, so which goes back to my whole bombshell of what I think Drake has in store. I think Drake did something with Kanye's wife. Now, to what level? Before, after, during, which is Kim Kardashian or ex-wife Kim Kardashian. But at the end of the day, the subliminals that he's saying it's I crept down the street, made a right, turned the lights off. I mean, that sounds like you're driving to somebody's house and getting out the car and about to go take care of some business. There's been verses to where he said that while you're gone, I'm basically at your crib. Like, I do apologize for not the verses because I'm supposed to have that ready, but there've been subliminals building up. And then in that Trippie Redd song, he actually even got so far to even calling out his actual name.
Yeah. Yeah, I think damn, that thought is slipping me. Yeah, whatever the bombshells may be that Drake may have, if they are pertaining to Kim Kardashian, I think one could say he has all the more reason to like let that cat out the bag, considering like they are no longer married. Right?
Absolutely.
So yeah. Kanye, I believe I want to say I've seen some pictures today on social media. I guess I'm assuming he's left Atlanta and now he's transforming his like listening to his album tour to Chicago. And I see like he's like building a home, one of his homes, like a mock little image building of his home inside of a Soldier Field in Chicago. So that should be interesting to see what that's all about, I guess, down the line, considering him being hooked up on strings and the Mercedes-Benz Stadium out here in Atlanta, Georgia, being lifted up like he's going to heaven.
These are all build-ups to outsell. Like, his plan is to outsell Drake and to outdo Drake as far as the numbers. Drake wants to drop a bombshell. And at the end of the day, they're both working them well. Like, Drake with his subliminals and his little side marks. And I mean, Kanye with these listening parties also, and setting a date back. They're building up to where basically you're gonna want to listen to one or the other. Like, heavier, like it's gonna be a battle.
Also, too, I don't know how real it is, but I did also see something about Kanye filing like legal documents to change his name officially to Ye.
That, like I said, he's figuring out every marketing idea he can think of to outsell Drake, to outdo Drake. I'm telling you, that's the idea. Like, Drake doesn't have to do that. Drake does little stuff to promote, but his idea is to just keep egging you on and just want to hear that album, what he got to say. Kanye is going to be Kanye and say what he feels about his life and personal matters somewhat of, but Drake has something to drop. And that last text message to Rick Ross definitely is helping me solidify what I'm saying. It's like, bro, like, you saying basically you about to drop a bomb. Like, everything about your album, you don't want nobody to listen to it. You're not giving away no track list. That's what Kanye is doing. He said, I got this many people on it. I got that many people on it. They say it's hot. This person said they love the track that they're on. All this stuff. Like, they've been building it up. And it's like I said, it's two different marketing strategies. One is a bombshell, and one is just to be an album. And I respect Kanye for doing his. Honestly, even though I'm a Drake fan, I'm both fans actually, but I respect Kanye a little bit more because he's actually sticking more to the art and the craftsmanship rather than the how would you say it, the gimmick. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got a bombshell to drop. No, I'm giving you a whole, Kanye's like, no, I'm giving you my art. I'm giving you my soul, my everything, and I'm just going to do it that way. Drake is more teasing, like, I got some tell y'all play. I got some tell y'all. Let me see how that work out. So I respect it, but it's like, yeah, I'm more of a into my music, into the music itself rather than the gossip. Like, the gossip is dope, but music is timeless. People gonna be, oh, he dissed the hell out of him. But at the end of the day, did that song really last? Did it really hit? Did it really get you through a trial and tribulation? That's what Kanye is trying to do. So, yeah.
Again, the text that Drake sent to Rick Ross, quote, "Everything is unfolding. I'm about to be as free as a bird," end quote. So we'll see what actually makes Drake feel free as a bird in the coming weeks, I guess you could say. I think October. I think he's gonna drop the album no later than like the end of October. Drake, at least. But
Oh yeah, October's very own. October's very own for sure. And also, just a sidebar. This is also a prediction of what he could have meant by that. This could be his last studio album with Cash Money. So there's always that Cash Money, Young Money. So there's always that. I believe he dropped like 6 or 7 albums, something like that. Like, yeah, he got like 6 albums out. So this is approaching that contract deal. That's a possibility, but I don't think he's like. I think he's still living good, even though he's signed to Cash Money and like regardless and Young Money. Like I don't think he's worried about being signed to a label. He's Drake. Some people it don't matter where you're at. It's like Michael Jackson. It's like nobody care about who Michael Jackson signed to. Or he don't care about who he signed to. He want to get his music out and just be dominant. So that's what he's basically doing. So I doubt it's that. I doubt it's him saying I'm moving on.
Mm-hmm. Football. All right. So yeah, man. This is what our final. This week coming up is the final preseason week.
Sounds about right.
My bad. I muted my bad. I muted myself. My bad. Yeah. So this we just finished week 2. We got week 3 coming up, and then there's a break, and then the season starts.
And then it's time to talk about the real action. Before we dig into the hot football topics on the schedule for this week's. So make sure y'all go check out the great film sessions that Coach Johnson recently did at EMAC Stats on YouTube. He did a film session on Mac Jones, and he also did a film session on Trevor Lawrence of their week 1 preseason games. Great content, great stuff, great insight to be able to take and then go into the next game saying, okay, are they doing this? Are they doing that? Coach Johnson did mention that. So it's been getting great feedback. So appreciate y'all for checking it out. Make sure you send it to a friend, a coach, a player. Give us some feedback, whether you agree, disagree, like a play, don't like a play. We're gonna have a lot more of that coming with the regular season. And so yeah, stay on the lookout for that and go check out the film sessions for the week 1 preseason games for Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones. Yeah, man. Which quarterback we talking about first, Coach?
We can go ahead and talk about Trevor Lawrence first, man. Begin.
All right. Okay. So I didn't click on it, but we was talking before the show. I was watching some film on Trevor Lawrence, and I was seeing this YouTube headline, which could have been clickbait, but it basically was saying, hey, is it too soon to be thinking about starting Trevor Lawrence week 1? And so I was texting in the group chat like yesterday. I felt like Trevor starting off, I felt like he was getting more and more comfortable with every rep. He played the entire first half of the game. And then I went back and I looked at it today. And I know there's other quarterbacks that we're going to talk about, and some quarterbacks, it seems like, they're not really reading the field. They're not really going through their progressions. And there was a couple of plays that Trevor Lawrence had where I don't know what the play is called. And obviously we're watching back the live game broadcast show as opposed to that raw film. So I don't know if someone was open fully downfield. But there was a handful of possessions where Trevor would drop back and he's only surveying one side of the field. I'm not getting a full extension of even the shoulders or the neck. I'm literally looking at 16 Lawrence across the back of his jersey because he's like this the whole time, vision just on one side of the field. And I'm just I don't think that's quarterback readiness. But I don't know if there's a particular play. And so what I took from that is he gets a play call, and according to that play call, X player is supposed to be open, and so he's I don't know what his pre-snap reads are, but he's coming out of the cut with like that guy's supposed to be open. And like, and it's like he's just like staring there, and then like a couple plays, not every play. What I do like about Trevor is like I like his mobility when he's like on the go. There's a handful of like bootleg plays, play actions to kind of get him out. And I like his ability to be able to throw the ball on the go. I think that's a strength of his. I also sometimes feel like he may force it at unnecessary times. And I guess it's just like that balance between like live to fight another down and like when is it the right time to take a chance. He had one play, he scrambled, took a stupid hit that like could have like unfortunately like put like a severe backtrack on him like entering it. I was like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to get a first down. I mean, at that point in the game, they had gone. They had only gotten 1 third down before that in that game. So he had gone like 4 third downs before that throughout the whole game. They didn't get any. He completed one on that drive to Marvin Jones, and then later on that drive, he had 3rd down again. No one's open. He's like, man, F the slide, dog. I gotta, we gotta. I mean, dadgummit, it's been too long.
Yeah.
I get, yeah. You want, as Jags fans, you definitely won the preseason. Hey, you want your number 1 QB to slide at that point. I am gonna push back at you a little bit on him scanning the field. I thought in the first game he had moments where he locked on to receivers, in particular Marvin Jones. He locked on to Marvin Jones a lot. Where in this past game, I didn't really see that happening. There were some quick game things that the Jags were trying to do, where basically there's some quick game concepts where pre-snap you just pick a side, right? So based on the coverage, cover 3 you go to the right, cover 2 you go to the left, or whatever, right? So they have some of those concepts. I definitely saw that in the first game when I did the tape. Everybody go check it out because you see that in there. And so because I know what kind of the type of offense that Darrell Bevell runs. I know he runs those type of concepts. So there are some of those concepts where you'll see him just do that. Like, hey, free snap, I'm looking over here because I'm going there. They did have some plays though that were very concerning. It had nothing to do with him. That's concerning to me as a Jaguars fan. Not necessarily play calling. The only thing I didn't like about the play calling was early on, like the first, I think 4 or 5 first down plays that they ran the ball on most of them. They only threw the ball once, so I didn't like that balance early on, and that set them up into 3rd and long situations. So they're running ball first and 10, they're running ball second and long. Now you get a 3rd and long and trying to convert that, and it didn't really help them out. So I think, but I have faith in Darrell Bevell. I think I think he'll be fine. He and Brian Schottenheimer, I think they'll be fine as far as play calling. What I did see that was very concerning is there were a few times where the execution by a few different players was not there, right? So on one of those plays, they do is called a stick concept, right? So what that is when there's 2 receivers running the stick concept, you have one guy who'll run about 5 yards, and he'll turn over his outside shoulder and just turn around, right? And you have another guy who'll run like a flat route, just right behind it, right? And so they're running this concept, and the tight end, who James O'Shaughnessy, he's been in the league for like 5, 6, 7 years. He's not like a rookie, and he's run this concept probably since high school. But he runs he runs up too far up the field and kind of gets in the way of the route. And it's little mistakes like that. It's like, hey, I know it's preseason, but you're only doing so many plays, in practice and stuff like that. Why are veteran players messing stuff up? That was concerning to me. And then also too, there was a screen pass that they ran to Carlos Hyde, and Juwan didn't know whether he wanted to block the defensive end or let him go by and release. And by him messing that up, it messed up the timing, and the running back gets tackled. So a little stuff like that was kind of concerning to me, because, like, man, all this stuff that we hear about how efficient their practice is run, and we have mental mistakes, that are being happened, on the offense. So that was concerning. But as far as Trevor Lawrence's play, I thought he played well. I thought, he took chances. To me, he looked much more confident in this game. My negative for him last week was that he looked very nervous. This game, he looked like he was more confident in what he was doing. He looked like he took control of the situation, even when there were bad plays. He looked like he was like, hey, it's all right. We got to get it going. Before the game, they showed, him in the huddle with the offense, like, hey, they're keeping score, so we got to win, right? So it didn't win, but, still. But it seemed like he played more like the guy that we saw in orange beating Alabama, right? To me, like, he played with that confidence, where the week before he played like a guy that was kind of scared, that he was in his first NFL game. A couple of throws that he threw in harm's way. I get that. The throw he threw to Philip Dorsett, a 50-50 ball in the end zone. I know everyone's singing Jameis Winston's praises this morning, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Jags defense,"
that wasn't a 50-50 ball. That was a dime on a rope.
Bruh, the first pass, 50-50 ball that should have been picked. If
Tyson made an amazing catch.
Sure, yeah, it was an amazing catch, but it should have been picked. Tyson Campbell.
Great ball placement.
It was not great ball placement.
It was.
No, Tyson Campbell gets there before the receiver and does not know how to track a ball. He didn't know how to track balls in college. I told this to Edward, probably doesn't remember this, but I remember talking to him about, I don't know why people are high on this Tyson Campbell guy from Georgia. I like the other guy there at Georgia, because I never see this guy make any plays on the ball. His first game last week, against the Browns, he gets a touchdown on him. He's right there. Ball goes over his head. He's like, "Oh snap! Where's the ball?" Da, da, da. He didn't know how to track the ball in the air, so he just runs to the receiver. He gets the PI. Da, da, da. It should have been picked though. Any other corner that has his speed would have picked that off. So that should have been picked. The second pass though was a great catch by could have been OPI. It's okay. But again, it's a contested catch. That ball's getting caught 1 out of 5 times, maybe. Right. So, Jags defense will be fine. Jameis Winston, both of his, chuck it up, see what happens, passes, go for touchdowns. Trevor's one that could have been, didn't. I mean, it is what it is, man. So
hey E, where's Mr. Have a Good Night, bro, himself? Where that guy at? I'm sorry, Coach, but goddamn, man, because I sure was looking at. You know what I'm saying? I was looking forward to seeing that guy, but
yeah, that's all right.
All of
Trevor, man, I think Trevor will be fine. I think the Jags will be fine. I think it's kind of concerning though with Travis Etienne being out for the season. That's concerning.
That turned it to the season.
Yep, Liz Frank, sprained in the middle of the foot. Sideline him for the year.
And it's crazy too because we never even got to see like anything electric from him from the first game or this past game. And so, first round running back, and we're like,
But you know what? I don't want to say I foresaw that coming, but due to the fact of his workload that he's endured in Clemson, I'm not surprised that injury happened because he has been worked a lot. He has some miles on the tread. You know, he has some tread on the tires rather, and it's just unfortunate.
yeah. So hopefully he comes back. Wins a comeback player of the year next year because he's so dynamic. So we'll see. We'll see. I wasn't too happy with pick 25 for the Jags or pick 33 for the Jags. Still, I'm not happy with that so far during the preseason, but it is what it is. But as far as as far as the Jags are concerned, I tweeted this out a couple of days ago. I would suggest that all Jaguars fans go back and look at the 2012 Indianapolis Colts. You have a very similar situation. You have a 2-14 team. We were 1-15. 2-14 team comes in. They get the generational quarterback at number one. They have a first-time head coach. They have an offensive coordinator who's worked with Hall of Fame quarterbacks before, and Bruce Arians, who had worked with Peyton Manning and Ben Roethlisberger. You have Derek Bevel with us, who worked with Russell Wilson as a rookie, and then he worked with Brett Favre when he was in Minnesota. So they start off terrible. There's a lot of, hey, what's going on? I thought this was the generational guy. What's happened? They end up 11-5, right? They go 3 years in a row, 11-5 into the playoffs, stuff like that. So they'll be fine. So we can move on to the next guy. So that's all I got on that. Unless Sean Hart, unless you got something you want to add to the Trevor Lawrence situation.
Trevor Lawrence has not been overly impressive. I won't say he's been underwhelming, but he's been, I would say, slightly above pedestrian in regards to just performance. You can see the talents there, but maybe, I don't know if it's just the abysmal Jacksonville Jaguars history that is just more so kind of drowning him in mediocrity at this point. But again, it's preseason. I'm speaking in some hyperbole here to kind of ruffle some feathers here on the podcast.
Hey, you're not saying anything that Jack's Twitter isn't saying. So
Yeah. So Urban Meyer has been from a play guy, and again, I know it's preseason, but that's all we have to go off of.
Yeah. Well, he's not calling plays though. He's not calling.
He's not.
Yeah.
But however, I haven't seen that signature stamp that coaches usually make on a game, but I know that will come when we actually get some live games in there, ones that really count. So I'm looking forward to see Urban Meyer's innovation in regards to overall managing of game situations and where he's going to put his stamp, whether that's going to be on the offensive side or the defensive side. I'm not too sure what his specialty is as a coach.
His specialty is offense and special teams. I think offensively, the thing
you're talking about Urban Meyer.
Yeah, the thing that he wanted to do offensively, utilize spread concepts with Trevor and stuff like that. I think they'll end up doing that stuff. But two is to get a lot of speed on the field, to be able to at any point, in the game have a big play. Yeah, and so whether we can see that from a Laviska Shenault, to DJ Chark, a Philip Dorsett, Tavon Austin might make the team. He's been looking great.
That's how the mighty has fallen. He used to be a Cowboy fan favorite. He used to be highly renowned.
The only reason I say might is because the Jags have like 9 guys. They have 3 guys or 4 guys that we know are definitely making the team. And then they have another 5 guys that are definite NFL receivers that they're trying to figure out, okay, who we're going to keep out of those 5, right? So from Colin Johnson, who they drafted last year, 5th round, out of Texas, to Philip Dorsett, to Laquan Treadwell, Tavon Austin,
I'll say Philip Dorsett, Laquan Treadwell. They've in their brief NFL careers, which correct me if I'm wrong, I think they may be in like year 4 or 5. They've kind of bounced around. Laquan Treadwell kind of starting, I think, his tenure in Minnesota.
So yeah, he was only with Minnesota. I don't think he's doing anybody else. But yeah, he kind of flamed out. He you know, his first round draft pick, you know, didn't live up to the billing at all. But he's looked great in camp for the Jags. He's made plays last week. He made plays this week for the Jags. So Josh Hammond is the other receiver that I was thinking about. So they have a good situation where they have guys that can definitely play, that they can definitely get some use from. Their biggest issue is their offensive tackle situation. Walker Little didn't play well at all. And it's hard against the Saints, man. The Saints they're gonna have a top.
8 niggas that got 2 last names, first name. I had a nigga on my team in high school. His nigga name was Harrison Thompson. If you listening, shout out to you, bro. But man, that's some poor parenting. But anyway.
Yeah. So the Saints, you know, they you have Cameron Jordan, you have Davenport on the other side, and they made our tackles look terrible.
A UTSA alum, shout out to Michael Davenport.
Yeah. And so they made us look terrible. They made us look terrible last year, when or a couple years ago when we played them. So you know, it is what it is there. So you know, we'll figure it out. But we've been talking about Jags for a while, man. We can go ahead and move on. Who you want to talk about next, Edward?
Since I already kind of know your take on it, I give it to Isaac first. So last week we was talking about, I had mentioned that Justin Fields may be in a similar Deshaun Watson situation in terms of like great talent, but like he's not just playing against the defense, he's trying to overcome the actual coaching, his coaching staff. Where do you stand on that, Izzo, after the second preseason week game, and then we could unfold it from there?
So I don't think my stance has changed. I think Justin Fields is obviously a great talent. Definitely looks like he may be on an uphill climb just due to the fact that I don't believe in Matt Nagy. Maybe as an offensive coordinator, slightly, but as an overall head coach to manage a game and put players in the best position to win, I don't believe in him from that standpoint, even with a God-given gift in his lap like Justin Fields. But I won't say I was discouraged this past weekend. I was definitely encouraged from what I saw. He showed us who he can be. I think we saw flashes of that like we've been seeing all preseason. And I heard an announcer on a show that whose name I won't call, but they were on ESPN and they said something along the lines of, fuck it, we're gonna call his name. Sam Acho said that Andy Dalton could potentially lead that team to the playoffs and even farther. And I had to call immediate bullshit on that, just as Jeff Saturday did, because he tried to give me the his numbers are comparable to Alex Smith, and Alex Smith led his team. I'm like, brother, this ain't this and that ain't that. This man is not Alex Smith. He does not have a defense that was as formidable as the 49ers did, with 2 I think potential Hall of Fame linebackers in Bowman and Willis. I don't know what the hell is a hold up on Patrick Willis getting inducted first ballot, bro. Did he not play enough? Anyway,
didn't he have a short career though? I think didn't he have a short career? Wasn't his career kind of short?
About as long as Luke Kuechly's. Anyway, that's another conversation for another day. But I'm rooting for Justin Fields. Hopefully he can actually start over Andy Dalton. I think it would put them in a better a position to win, being at the fact that he's a dual threat. I mean, the guy runs a sub 4.4, can't coach that, has great intangibles, great leadership skills. I just think probably, I guess, maturing behind Andy Dalton, probably not the best quarterback to kind of, I guess get tutelage from, but I don't want to slander Andy Dalton, though we've drug him through the mud a little bit, but I just think that their best option at winning would be to start Fields. But I just don't want him to be thrown to the wolves too early and he kind of, sink instead of swim. But, hey, trial by fire.
Yeah. Hey, you're right on that. They both played 8 years. Right on that.
I told you.
And
Patrick Willis is
both of them, 7 out of 8 years were Pro Bowlers. Keithley was All Pro 5 years out of those 8. Let me see about Patrick Willis real quick.
Patrick Willis had to be like 6 years, bro. Had to.
He was All Pro 5 out of those 8. Goodness gracious. They both played
both playing Mike.
Yeah.
How many All Pros?
Both of them 5 out of 8 All Pro. Both of them 5 out of 8 years All Pro. Yeah. So.
That's racist. I don't want to hear Luke Kuechly getting in before him. I don't want to see that. I don't.
Luke Kuechly till gotta be 5 years out, right? So he got to 2024. So yeah. But I mean, yeah, Patrick Willis is definitely eligible. So yeah, I have no idea. What the holdup is on that. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I don't know what Otto was talking about with Andy Dalton leading them to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't see the team with Justin Fields going to the playoffs. I don't see they would need a top 3 quarterback play in order to even sniff the playoffs, and maybe not even that because
they would need Jesus Devontae Christ at quarterback, basically.
Yeah. I mean, the Texans got top 3 quarterback play last year and made it to the playoffs. So that situation. But the Bears have a better defense than the Texans did last year. But yeah, no, I don't know. The Bears got issues going on. But as far as
in the past, I would have pounced on you for that, but I don't give a fuck about them no more. So I'm gonna let you make it.
I know. I was throwing stuff out there to try to see if it got caught.
Testing the waters.
Yeah. But as far as Justin Fields is concerned, Edward, I hate that you tried to put on Trevor Lawrence when I told you about Justin Fields. But
what you mean? Oh, you talking about when I was watching him?
Yeah, you watched him after I had this conversation with you about Justin Fields. You start watching Trevor Lawrence, and you're like, oh, I see that too. So as far as Justin Fields is concerned, right? A couple things. One, that hit that he got his helmet taken off was penalty.
He got his bell rung, got his welcome to the league hit.
It's frustrating watching the Bears and trying to analyze Justin Fields because there's so much bad there that I have no idea who's blamed on that particular play.
Yes,
I don't know who's calling the protection. I don't know if it's the center. I don't know if it's Justin. I don't know who didn't block. Who didn't block?
Who did stay blocking the sign?
I don't know if 73 was supposed to stay out there, the right tackle, because he had a few plays where I was like, who the heck is this guy? This guy don't know what's going on. Like, don't know up from down. And then Khalil Herbert, 6th-round pick out of Virginia Tech. He ends up running a route. I don't know if he's supposed to chip the guy or what. But there was not just that play. There were a few plays like that where there's an extra blitzer coming, and it was like Justin Fields just didn't realize that was happening. If I don't know who to blame. I don't know if if he's supposed to be calling protection, if the center's supposed to be calling protection or what. But
I'm gonna blame Matt Nagy.
I mean, sure, we can blame Matt Nagy, but
Yes.
if stuff like that is continuously happening, you cannot start him. And if he's supposed to be responsible for calling and recognizing blitzes, and he's not doing it in preseason versus second and third string guys, you cannot start him in the regular season because he will get hurt. That's number one. He'll get hurt. Number two, he's going to mess up. He's not going to be able to perform for the team. So that's number one. Number two, what Elway tried to put on Trevor Lawrence is definite for Justin Fields. Watch all of his dropbacks. 80-90% of them, I would say 95% of them, because really I never saw it. He does not get off of the first read. He sticks on whoever he's sticking to, and he's throwing it there. Even on plays where he's like where you have play action rollouts. Like it's drawn up for the guy that's coming across the field, never looks at him, looks at the guy that's on the sideline, throws it there. And it's like, man, I don't know. It's frustrating because I don't have the all 22 film, but this was something that was talked about in the scouting community about Justin Fields pre-draft, that hey, he doesn't know how to read defenses, and many people thought it was a racial slight because he's a black quarterback. But people kept talking about, he sticks on his first read, sticks on the first read. It looks that way when I go back and watch him. It looks that way. So the great thing about him is, again, he can give you 5 splash plays. Those 5 splash plays could turn into touchdowns. And the other 25, 30 plays that he's dropping back don't even matter. Okay, get it. That's there. But against good defenses, against great defenses, that's not going to be there. And so I don't know. I am not sure if you start him right now. I didn't think this last week, but the more I watch him, I'm like, man, I don't know. One, to protect if he's going to be a guy going forward. I don't know if he have a good enough offensive line. I don't know if he's great at blitz pickup, and I don't know if he's great at reading defenses. And I'm not the only person saying that. There are many people who know way more football than me who are questioning, hey, what's going on with Justin with being able to recognize these simple things? And so this could have been why he dropped. But I know if I'm able to notice it, there are people who are way smarter than me who know football who are like, we like all the other stuff, but he can't do these simple things, or he's struggling too much with these simple things. So yeah. But to go back and trash on Matt Nagy some more. There's a difference when you get somebody who knows how to call plays and they have an average quarterback, how they look, and somebody who don't know how to call plays and they have an average quarterback and how they look. Y'all saw Mitch Trubisky dice them up because he had somebody who knew how to call plays.
He did though, bro. And I wish fucking Javier Miles was on this podcast. I'd be giving it to him. Because that nigga, he looks so good. I'm like, well, damn, Josh, you might got some competition, fella. But, I mean, all jokes aside, though, man, Mitch Trubisky actually did look good. I didn't know if anybody was going to bring that up. But the guy went 20 for 28. Granted, against, second, third stringers. But
no, it was
he did face some first team.
Lil Mac was in there.
First team a little bit. He did.
They was in there in the first few drives, and he was still moving down the field, moving on up. He was still making it happen. He was. So great ball.
But he did, man. He looked good. I mean, Mr. Trubisky, pretty athletic quarterback, and mobile in the pocket, can get out and run. He was hitting some completions, and like you stated, man, he looked like somebody that actually knew how to call plays. Again, Matt Nagy, I'm blaming him again. So if Justin Fields don't look like what we think he's supposed to look like, because I have confidence in his ability to want to get better and the ability to have the self-discipline to learn. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna chastise him for not being able to get off of the first read, so to speak. I think with some time to develop, and I don't think he starts week 1, but I think they'll feel pressure from the fan base if Andy Dalton breathe wrong. Justin, they're gonna be calling for him, right? So it's gonna be hard from an organizational standpoint to kind of ignore the paying fans.
Yeah.
But if he can, man, try to sit until maybe they can make some adjustments to that O-line, or they can get Matt Nagy ass out of there. But I feel like he's not going to truly be evaluated until Justin Fields gets in there. So maybe they need Justin Fields in there to fuck around and go 4-12, and they be looking at Matt Nagy like, well, it ain't Justin. It's got to be you. You know what I mean? So maybe that needs to happen.
I think
I said 4-12, 4-13. I'm sorry, we got extra game.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. We, that's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, I think with Justin Fields or without Justin Fields, they're gonna go about 4-13, 5-12. I don't see them having a good year at all. I think this is last year. I think this is Ryan Pace's last year. I think
his ass should have been out of there.
Yeah, I think whoever's running the Bears organization, they need to take this last game and say, hey, you know what? The first person that we're calling after we fire Matt Nagy is Brian Daboll. I do not know how he didn't get hired as a head coach this past offseason. I know everybody was looking at Eric Bieniemy like, oh, he got snubbed again. Brian Daboll got snubbed this past year. And I think people are going to see, they saw the transformation that they had with Josh Allen. He made Mr. Trubisky look like, oh, snap, this was the number 2 pick. Damn, that
nigga did go number 2, huh?
He did. Granted, it was the it is preseason, but still, he made him look like against the Bears defense, who has Pro Bowl players on it, and he was dicing people up. So, yeah. So
I bet them niggas looking like, what in the fuck?
I ain't
Where did
never
this come
seen you act like this,
This
bro.
nigga don't act like that.
yeah. So transitioning. Again, still talking about play calls that make people look great. There was a tweet that went around, and I sent it to you guys. And Philadelphia Eagle fans are trying to figure out, how did Nick Mullins look so great in San Francisco, and he looks like gosh doggone trash out here with us? Because of Kyle Shanahan. People were trying to say that Nick Mullins could be an all-pro Hall of Famer because of all the stats that he was putting up with Kyle Shanahan.
You gotta stop listening to them bots on your Twitter timeline, brother. Ain't nobody in their right mind.
Is this guy even belong in the NFL? Y'all are the only people in all of football that do not think that Kyle Shanahan is a genius.
Well, no. I think the problem that you run into is we do not sing this man's praises to the heavens.
Good. Everybody else does.
And sing kumbaya. No, they don't. Because I don't want to sing praises to the heavens for a guy who doesn't run the fucking ball in the Super Bowl against the greatest quarterback who ever touched God's green earth. And then he gets back to the Super Bowl, and instead of trying to go for wins, he tries not to lose the game and ends up, again, falling flat on his face. So you ain't got to replay a song.
So I'm sorry, Izzo, you keep on, my bad.
Nah, I'm just saying, man, because it sounds like you all in on him, but I'm seeing something different. Now, granted, he may be a great OC. Can he call some plays? Hell yeah, he can call some plays. Can he mismanage and fuck up a game? Absolutely, yes. And he has proven to do that in the biggest of stages, on the biggest of moments. I would call him Doc Rivers, but the nigga ain't got a championship yet, so he might just be in a class all his own.
I'm gonna get one this year.
He gonna get what this year?
They might win a Super Bowl this year.
I'm not on that. Put some money on that.
Yeah, if you ain't gonna hold your bets on it, don't say
it. When are we doing our shot?
Next week. How about this? Them niggas not gonna sniff the playoffs, brother. How about that?
We're going to the playoffs.
How?
Playoffs.
You kidding me?
You'll have. Hold on, let's see real quick.
Yeah, do the math in your head and go run through who in their division.
Yeah, you'll probably have 3 teams out of the division make the playoffs. You got 7 teams going.
Well, okay, all right. Well, I'm telling you this.
The North only got 1 team going to the playoffs. The East only got 1 team going to the playoffs.
Okay, so the Niners are in the NFC West, right?
Yes.
So who you got in that division? You got Denver. You got the Seahawks.
In the AFC.
That's AFC.
You got the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Rams, and the 49ers.
I got my Cardinals going.
3 of those 4, the Cardinals are not going to the playoffs. 3 of those 4 are going to the playoffs.
$100 right now. They have a better record than San Francisco. $100 right now. Take it.
Explain.
Take it. Because I got money that the Cardinals are going. Now, their offense scared me, but
let's go ahead. Buddy, I don't do this.
Christian, don't do it, bro.
Don't do it because when they don't make it, I expect my money right to my cash app. Not a day later, not a moment sooner.
Don't do it. The only way I want to make it would be injury.
We'll revisit it. I still got it on the table, bro, because that's how confident I am. Whenever you feel you want to do some tertiary research and revisit it.
It's not that I'm not confident, though. I don't put money on stuff like that. But
humor me. Bet me $20 then.
Oh man.
But they'll make the play. They'll make the playoffs over the Cardinals.
How about this? If they don't make it, I buy you lunch. Or if they don't make it, you buy me lunch. And if they do, I'll buy you lunch.
We can do that.
Okay, cool.
We do that.
Benny's it is.
I'm an expensive dude. Now I like nice shit. I just make that,
I like Benny's it is.
Give me the order. I have.
We got some nice restaurants in the Galleria area. I think we're familiar with them. We'll comb through that later.
And this is for the Cardinals not making it to the postseason.
So this is on the 49ers having a better record than the Cardinals. This is what we're doing, or this is on the Cardinals not making the playoffs.
This is on. I think the Cardinals are going to have a better record than the 49ers. I don't think the 49ers are going to be as good as you think they will be. I'll leave that at that. I think the Cardinals defense got better via offseason acquisitions and draft. And I also believe that I meant to say defense, but
it's a party.
All that shit, man. AJ Green opposite of DeAndre. I'm still waiting to see that. Cliff Kingsbury needs to utilize the running game a little more. He's scaring me a little bit, but I'm going to hold out. I'm going to have some faith, and I think they'll be better than, Boy Chin Wonder that you fucking praise so much.
All right, so this is what the better be. If the 49ers make the playoffs and the Cardinals don't, you owe me lunch. If the Cardinals make the playoffs and the 49ers don't, I owe you lunch. Okay. All right. If they both make the playoffs, is what it is.
Better record. Record.
But if they don't make it, if they both don't make it, whoever has a better record wins. And if they got a similar record, which I doubt that will happen. I'll rock, paper, scissors you on that bet. I still ain't dying off of that.
You gotta do the playoffs, man. They both just suck. If they both made the playoffs, then we both were right. But we were right on our record.
Okay, well, if they both make the playoffs, then you just buy me lunch.
Oh,
why not? You still have to buy me lunch too, and I'll buy you lunch.
How can I get on this lunch deal?
Sure, okay.
Fuck you. Yeah, have a good night, bro. Well, what happened to that?
Hey, Sedacious, you saw Trubisky dicing them up this weekend?
You saw your Bills?
You must be talking about the Cowboys.
I'm talking about the Bills, dog. I'm not talking about the
man.
Trubisky.
You remember the Bills, right? with Josh Allen on them?
The Bills.
Yeah, them guys, right? You don't remember?
Why y'all talking about the Bills?
Well, funny thing, Mitch Trubisky actually looked like the second overall pick this past week. He went 20 for 28. I think 2 touchdowns, Coach.
I think so, man. Let me pull out the stat.
I know he went 20 for 28 for sure. I know he didn't throw 300, but I think he went 20 for 28, 200 plus, 2 touchdowns, no picks.
Let's see.
My name is Humpty, pronounced with an umpty.
R.I.P.
He only threw 1 touchdown.
Hey.
I think one though.
I know the hip hop head was gonna catch that.
Yeah,
For sure.
right though. Hey, last thing I do want to say.
Yeah.
Since we talking about the big in the AFC East, I think the Jets are gonna be all right, man.
Hey, I agree with you. We
Keep
gonna
all-
start waiting on that.
Keep all that.
Not just with Zach Wilson. I think
When you got Aaron Rodgers singing your praises, you know it's something there.
I think Mike LaFleur, Matt LaFleur's little brother, was with Kyle Shanahan for the longest. I mean, I think he's been with him since he was with the Redskins. The play that Zach Wilson threw to Corey Davis on the sideline, right, where he's like backing up and kind of sides arms it for like 30 yards down the field. That play is a variation of Kyle Shanahan's play called scissors pump. Okay. The scissors pump play is a play action pass that's meant to go to that receiver, that route that Corey Davis ran, right, where he fakes like he's blocking and then he just runs up the sideline, right? Kyle Shanahan usually runs that the first game of the season, right? In 2016, he ran it first game of the season to Mohamed Sanu against the Buccaneers. In 2018, he ran it first game of the year against the Vikings with Kyle Juszczyk. He does that, first game of the year. Usually people, don't look for it, and he gets a nice little chunk play.
How much it costs?
That play?
No, to buy your way into the Kyle Shanahan coat.
It cost me time to watch the film. But
Yeah, bro, because
I thought we were
at this
talking
point,
about Zach Wilson.
It's sickening because we was definitely talking about Zach Wilson, but it turned into Kyle Shanahan some kind of way.
Mike LaFleur though. So the reason I'm talking about, I think they're gonna be all right, is because I've never seen this play run with a different variation. So the play is usually run where you fake the outside zone to the 2 receiver side, and so it looks like the run's going that way. The defense comes up, and then that receiver's open, right? This time, they fake the run to the other side, right? They fake the run to the other side to try to get like a tight end pop pass right behind it, right? So on the left side, and then the secondary read was the pump pass. So it's like, hey, you know what? We already know we're going to get a chunk, right? If this doesn't work. So let me try to get a chunk here, and then let me try to get double chunks in one play. I'm just saying it's offensive genius to the next level. Usually offensive coordinators just think about, hey, let me fake the defense out once. But here, he's like, hey, I want to get a chunk play. Instead of me just only relying on one fake out, let me fake them out twice. If I don't get this fake out, I'm definitely going to get that one. It was offensive genius. I think if Kyle made that up, I've never seen it. If Mike made that up, oh my gosh, it is great. But, I think they'll be in good hands. I like what the Jets got going on. Hey, if the Jets, listen, I like what Joe Douglas got going on. I like Robert Saleh. I like Matt LaFleur. Man, shoot, bro. I might have to. I don't know, bro. I might have to look. Jets. I don't know, bro. I like Duval, dog. I hate New York, but I don't know. But I like what the Jets got going on. That's all I gotta say. That's all I got.
Closing remarks. Sedacia, you got anything before we log off? I know your fan base was missing you tonight.
Pretty sure the brothers covered it for me, but I just kind of just want to elaborate on this, and that's all. I know y'all hear this all the time, and I'm probably gonna sound like a broken record, but your mental health is very important. Like please don't take it lightly. Like don't think like I don't need to talk to nobody. I'm good. I'm macho, too macho. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you really feel like you need some motherfucking help, get some motherfucking help, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean like get therapy. Like I sometimes in the morning got shit on my mind and I'll call Poochie and me and Poochie will talk about it, and all of a sudden we laugh, and then all of a sudden it's light to me now. So even if it's that little, just, you know, like take care of your psyche. That's it.
I second that, and I would say I'm an advocate for therapy. So if you need more than just a homeboy to talk to, professional help is out there, does work.
Yeah, man. So thank you all for tuning in to the Respect the Game podcast. We will be etching everybody's takes and predictions in stone for this upcoming season. I would strongly encourage y'all to go back and listen to some of the takes from last season and how they progressed, and how when people get called out on their takes for whatever reason, they have amnesia and they swear they never said certain things. So that would definitely be funny. But before this season starts,
camera cuts of that guy. Wherever you did on my screen.
We're definitely etching everyone's takes in stone, and we will always have a reference point to go back to for anybody who tries to switch up or tap dance around any debate or topic and throughout the season. So yeah, man, thank y'all for tuning in. This is the Respect the Game podcast. See you beautiful people next week.